Right guys, in today's video we're going to be servicing the daily over here, this beautiful Fabia. That involves changing the oil filter. I've got a new fuel filter, cabin filter, new tyres fitted before the MOT, so I can sort that myself. We also need a new rear brake light and some boot struts, gas boot struts. As this car hasn't had a service for a very long time, we've got some of this engine flush to add. So what you need to do is get the engine up to temperature, which it already is, add this, run it at idle for about 15 minutes and then drain the oil hot and it will come straight out. Run the car at idle for 15 minutes and we'll be ready to drain. We'll get everything else ready in the meantime. So now the car's been idling for about 15 minutes, we're going to turn it off. Unfortunately at the moment all my axle stands are taken, so today we'll be jacking up and placing the wheels under some wheels. Okay, so first step is to undo this plastic tray and then we can access the sump bolt and start draining the oil. This tray is held on with a few T25 Torx and, like most of my other cars, a lot of cable ties, so let's get on with that. Honestly, it's nice to see that a car of this age still has one of these trays fitted. I believe that's all the Torx, the rest are cable ties. Sump bolt is at the back, I believe it's a 19. Cardboard over here. Oil tray ready. No oil leaks as far as I can see. So yeah, this car really has been well looked after. Yeah, boy. And it's also lovely to see that the sump plug hasn't been over tightened, because that is very common. And out the oil goes. Probably hasn't been changed in a long time, but that's why we ran that extra stuff through, clean out the engine. So once that's drained, we'll get the oil filter fitted, which we shall take off now. So, under this cover, which we just pop off, like that. Again, really nice to see that hasn't been over tightened. This filter really has seen better days. Let's give this a clean up and put the new one in. Unbox the new filter. Now when you're changing your oil filter, always remember to take the old O-ring off and replace it with the new one that comes in the box. One tool I do not regret buying is these little set of picks. Makes a little job like this so much easier than when using a screwdriver. Place the new one back on. Seat it properly, done. Place the new filter on the old cap, should click on like that. And we won't screw it up quite yet because the old oil is still draining. So while we're doing that, we can attempt the fuel filter. To remove the old fuel filter, all we need to do is pull this clip out here, undo these two, slide that clip up there. Do the same with this one. And the flathead to pull this pin out. Do not lose this, as I nearly lose it. And that should pop straight off of here. That was all very easy. Here we have an old water bottle, this should be just fine. So, put it straight in the container. Now unboxing the new fuel filter, the cap needs to be taken off the bottom. These two bits need to be removed. And we basically do what we just did in reverse. So place the fuel filter back in, clip this in, secure it with this clip here. This one on here. There we go. There we go, and that is one fuel filter replaced. Okay, so let's see if the oil has drained. We're just dripping now, so I think we're all good to put the sump plug back in and we can screw the oil filter in and top her up with oil. It is the new sump plug with the new crush washer. Now, this doesn't have to be done with every service, however, it is highly recommended. So, I'm going to thread this in by hand to begin with. That's threading in nicely. And that should be enough. So that's the sump plug in. Let's go fit the new oil filter and fill her up with oil. Again, with the 36mm socket, we will tighten this up. This also does not need to be terribly tight, approximately 25 newton meters. It will vary for every car. It does indeed say 25 newton meters right there. There we go. Time. Some fresh Quantum Long Life 5W30. Only the best oil for my daily. Now, I believe these need 4.5 litres of oil. No, I do not have an oil funnel, so I will use a rag and my brilliant expertise to pull this directly in. Or not. I don't think that was too bad, to be honest. All these tools, yet no funnel to put the oil in. Right, so that should be enough to put the oil cap back on. Before we lower the car and check the oil level, we need to put the tray back on. Let's put these 3 T25s and some cable ties back in. Check the oil level. And I would say that's pretty much perfect. Next thing to do is the cabin filter. Okay, so now we're just removing the old cabin filter. This piece came off the top and you can see how messed up this is. This thing's got a bit of everything going on. We've got the new filter in, definitely wasn't anything to do with Chad helping me do that. The next issue we have to fix with this car is, well, as you can see, the boot's being held up by a piece of wood currently because the old gas shocks are completely destroyed. Now, these are super easy to replace. All you should have to do is take a flathead screwdriver to the clip up here. We'll save that for later, and this should just pop off here like that. The same process is repeated here, and in with the brand new second hand. So push that on. Let's do the other side. And once again, we have a completely functional boot. So in the other Fabia I'm stripping out, I took the whole light module out because I've got some fancy LED reverse lights, and instead of changing single bulb, might as well just swap this whole thing out. So what you have to do, pull this trim piece back, clip at the top, slides out, be careful not to pull any of the bulbs out, a clip here, there you go, connect it back up to the new one. Pop that in, and it clicks into place, done. Now I'll do it on the other side.
Oh yeah, look at those.
Lovely, aren't they? Hazards. Right.
Yeah.
Heart overhead, and I guess love to watch the way you made me into a mess. Hands on my dress.
So that's the Fabia serviced and ready for another year on the roads. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next week. Peace out.
I'll see you guys in a bit.